This is Julie D, and you're listening to NordoniaHills.News. And today I'm sitting here talking with Jeff from Drone, Ohio.
Hey.
He's got the shirt. So Drone. Boy, this is going great. So Jeff, how do you pronounce your last name? I always ask people that.
It's Holberry.
Holberry, okay. And you probably have that your whole life, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now, I saw just recently on social media, Facebook. In fact, you're on Facebook exclusively, right? You're not in any of the crazy other Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
Well, I do have my .com,
Okay.
DroneOhio.com, of course, and then Drone Ohio on YouTube has over 160 videos.
Nice.
But I am on Instagram, I believe. That's the only other social media that I do, and I do that not as often as I should. So.
I saw on Facebook you did a flyover of Fun and Stuff, and I thought it was so cool. You were chasing a train.
Yep.
Tell me about that shoot.
Yeah, well, again, I live here in Macedonia, so, and I travel all over the place to do what I do, but I just haven't done a lot here in Macedonia. So, I have been down to the high school. I did the high school a couple of times, I do believe, and then we just did Fun and Stuff the other day, which is a neat place. I haven't been down there to race the go-karts lately, but
That'd be fun.
that always, and it makes good photography too. You know, I've been a photographer all my life since I was 16 years old. That was like a century ago. So I got into the aerial photography about 3 years ago. So for me to do something here in Macedonia, well, this Christmas I went down and did the Christmas lights at the City Hall.
Yes.
We did that as well.
Beautiful.
Just thought I'd start popping some things off here in Macedonia, and I also did the Roxino, which is now changing over to the
MGM
here shortly. We just did that recently, and I had done that about a year or two ago as well. So.
Well, you're going to have to reshoot it once they put the MGM line up there.
Well, that's why I went up there just now, because I knew it was going to be changing over. So.
Yeah, they're not done yet.
Yeah.
Should be very soon, though.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of work there just recently.
So again, living here in Macedonia, you know, I just felt the need to do a little bit more here in Macedonia.
Well, I did meet you years ago at one of the Fun Fests in town, and you were doing the fireworks.
Yeah, we did do the fireworks that year. Actually, I think that was the same year that I met Gary, and then
Gary Miller.
Last year, I think Gary and I hung out up at the Fun Fest as well last year, and we did, I don't remember if we did a live stream or if we did video or stills or whatnot, but yeah, like I say, on the website, if you go into the photo gallery, there's major categories like towns and cities. So like Macedonia topic, you just go into the towns and cities and then look for Macedonia, and then from there you'll see the high school, you'll see Fun and Stuff, and you'll see all the other stuff. So.
What is the furthest away that you've done?
Well, we went to White House, Tennessee.
I saw that.
That was not last summer, but the summer before. We went down there for the solar eclipse, and we were directly on the umbral line. I mean, smack dab on the umbral line, which was really neat. But the farthest way was San Antonio, Texas. Last year, last May, my son went into the Air Force, and they have their basic training down there in San Antonio. So I did a 8 or 9 city trip with the drone mobile, which we'll talk about the drone mobile later.
Yes.
I did an 8 or 9 city trip, and we went to New Orleans, Houston, Dallas, Waco, San Antonio, all sorts of places. Memphis, Tennessee on the way back. I've been to Cincinnati, so no, we go all over the place, and I love going all over Northern Ohio. I mean, Northern Ohio is where it's at. I was born here, originally from Chagrin Falls, grew up in Chagrin Falls. And,
you've done some shoots there too, haven't you?
Oh yeah, no, I do a lot of work out there because it's my hometown. I was born there in 1960 and I left in '73, so my whole childhood was out there. And then right after I got out of high school, I went down to Florida. I was down in Florida for 11 years. And they don't have dirt, they don't have grass down there, they don't have 4 seasons, they don't have it. You can have Florida. You guys keep Florida.
They have the alligators too.
This is where it's at. Northeast Ohio is where it's at. I mean, we got Squires Castle. We got all these beautiful parks. The Emerald Necklace of the Cleveland Metro Park system. Flying downtown Cleveland. I love to fly downtown Cleveland.
Oh, what a beautiful city.
So, oh yeah, no, I love the skyline. That's one of my great topics.
Have you covered the Northeast Ohio, the covered bridges and the fall?
Well, I actually ride. So I used to ride in the Covered Bridge motorcycle run, which in certain years would have anywhere between 300 and 500 motorcycles on a single motorcycle run.
Wow.
So I was quite familiar with that. And I think it was the first year I was into the drone. We specifically went out there with 2 drones, actually, 2 drone pilots and whatnot. And we were jumping ahead of the motorcycle run, and we covered all of those things. So, yeah, I got there's photo galleries of the covered bridges and whatnot.
It's a beautiful area too.
Yeah, I mean, Northeast Ohio, like I said, it's where it's at for me.
Didn't you do a motorcycle run for the VFW last year?
I did cover that. I'm trying to remember who pointed. I think Cliff might have pointed me in that direction. But yeah, we covered their leaving on their day run. It wasn't a very big ride. It might have been 25 or 30 bikes. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we can do with the drone. We cover special events. I did the Hudson High School Swing Marching Band last year.
Wow.
Where they invited multiple marching bands down into their stadium, and they had a little marching band off,
I missed that one.
And that was good. We created a video off of that one. We got some great stills because we just ran into a beautiful sunset that night.
Oh, lucky.
And I'm one who chases sunsets and sunrises. Come June and July, on the weekends, I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning so I can go out and be somewhere for when the sun comes up, and then when the sunrise isn't pretty, you're like, oh. But the key is, and this is one of the Cliff Frank's quotes, is you can't shoot it if you're not there. So you just got to go out and be there.
Very true.
To get all these cool things. So. I do time lapses too. Speaking of sunsets, a sunset time lapse is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you can do it from a drone up above, and have a nice subject matter, a lake or something, or a city skyline. Maybe. Yeah, and the clouds are booking across the sky and everything. So there's a lot of things that I do, and.
Just recently. Well, that wasn't recently, but you helped with a couple lost dogs over your career. Yeah,
we've been getting calls a lot lately too. We had a dog down in Twinsburg last year that we helped find. Down in Canal Fulton back in January, February, we're looking for a dog out on a frozen marsh. The 2 Bernese mountain dogs just recently. We've had a call for the horse, and we've had a call for a cow that got loose.
Holy cow, I didn't hear about that.
So, if we can help, we're more than glad. I mean, this is just me speaking. I work with a bunch of other drone companies in and around the area. I mean, we're all kind of buddies. But if somebody calls me up, and if I have the time, and I don't mind going out to wherever it's at, I'll try to help people out. But it is a business. I mean, I have a lot of money invested in it, so it's nice to make money. But also, we get exposure through these different types of things. People really like the live streams on Facebook. People really seem to like those. We didn't actually even fly this last year, but we did the Blossom Time Parade out in Chagrin Falls, and we live streamed it from the ground. And I think we got 17,000 views on it.
Right.
So there's so many things that we can do with the multimedia and the social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the Chagrin Falls situation. A lot of people love Chagrin Falls. A lot of people are from Chagrin Falls, and now they live in Colorado or Florida or California. And they can sit there and watch and see what's going on in their city. They're out there rebuilding a middle school right now. So I've been doing updates as well on that, working with the school system. I also work with the Chagrin Falls Historical Society, just covering some of their events, and the Valley Arts Center out there. So. Yeah, I like making money, but I also do a lot of volunteer type work, for when I can, and we're just having a lot of fun.
So I I saw on social media that you got recertified this year.
Yeah, just recently, just last week, I do believe. That's kind of a funny story because every 2 years you have to get recertified to be a commercial drone pilot. So 2 years ago, when I first took my test, I took the test and it was like really hard. I mean, all these charts you got to learn and everything. You got to do your research.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the process is.
Yeah, and so 2 years ago when I took the test, I thought I was gonna. You have to score 70 to pass. Mm-hmm. So you gotta. It's not that hard. So last year I thought I was gonna score in the low 80s or something. When after I took my test, I ended up with a 93.
Ooh.
And I'm like, wow. And then so just last week I went down there, and I took the test, and again I thought I was maybe mid 80s or something like that. And I had gone back and I went over a couple of questions, and I changed one answer, and I ended up getting 100% on the test.
Wow.
Just that one question changed it.
If you hadn't changed that,
I would have been 98%, but no, I scored
wow.
100, so that was kind of funny.
Have the rules and regulations changed?
That is something I wanted to talk about, and just recently, the FAA and the federal government and the Senate and the Congress and all those people, they have enacted new bills and new rules and regulations with the drones. Up until now, things have been pretty static for the last 2 years. But there are going to be implementing some changes, I don't know exactly when, but in the very near future. As of right now, you have two types of drone pilots. You have a hobbyist. You can run down a Best Buy, buy a drone, you're a drone hobbyist. If you want to make money flying a drone, you have to be a commercial drone pilot. So you have to take that test, give the government 100 and a half and whatnot. They're changing it to anybody that flies a drone needs to have a license.
Wow.
They're
so even these kids, I mean, is there an age limit?
Everybody. Yeah, it's going to be like driving a car now.
Wow.
You're going to have to, I don't know, be over 16 or whatnot. But because right now, everybody has to have a serial number on your drone. That's just everybody. Even if you went down to Best Buy,
right? Because if it gets away from you,
exactly. But no, this is what they're implementing is that everybody's going. Now the test will be dumbed down a bit. It won't be as tough as it is for us.
And you'll be like, I remember back in the day when it was tough, and I got 100%.
They may make two different grades of licenses too. They may have intermediary type license and then a professional commercial license.
I think they should have a couple levels.
But again, it's all about safety. I mean, I get it, I understand it. Unfortunately, the FAA is a little behind the technology speed that the drones have been doing for the past couple of years.
Wow.
Because things are just moving so fast in the drone industry. But for the FAA to make these new rules and make them fair for everybody, and then you have your lobbyists from the drone companies, of course, and all that bureaucratic fun stuff. So it can get difficult.
Well, maybe it seems like the ones that get in trouble are the ones that are not commercial.
Exactly.
So it might help that situation.
That's what we always say, is that us commercial pilots are the safest pilots out there because we know all these rules and regulations and we do our best to abide by them. The dangerous flyers are the hobbyists that don't know anything. I mean, that parade that I talked about out in Sugar Falls, we were shooting from the ground because there was a lot of people there. You can't fly over people. You can't fly over moving vehicles.
Right.
And 3 houses up the road from where we were shooting, there was a kid with a Mavic drone flying directly over the street, directly over the parade, directly over the marching band.
Sure.
And he thought it was cool. Well, guess what? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
Did
safe.
anything happen? Or
No, but it's just not safe.
No, it's not safe. I was actually at, it was a festival in Cleveland years ago, the Hookah Festival, that's what it was. And there was a band playing, it was a big crowd. Right above the crowd was a drone. I swear it was just like a foot above the crowd. Yeah. In fact, one of the guys in the crowd was actually operating it. Yeah. He reached up, grabbed it right there. Yeah. And that was not safe.
Well, that's actually, and we're doing an audio podcast, but I'm also filming it here. That's actually how we land these things. We land them by grabbing them.
Right.
Because it's safer and it's easier. when it comes in, you just reach up and you always do it above your head, so you're not going to grab it here.
But you don't do it in a crowd.
No, that's the thing. And we shoot events, we shoot concerts and stuff like that. Right. But what you do is you shoot it from the side. You never fly over the crowd because again, it's against the rules and regulations. So we always fly over like a building, like at the mall down in downtown Cleveland. We shot a concert there last year. We had a couple of drones in the air, but they were all in the safe areas where the people aren't at. And again, we do this professionally, and God only knows, we don't want to have any accidents and cause ourselves any issue, but you certainly don't want to hurt anybody. And it's the hobbyists and it's the uneducated people that'll buy this, this $1,500 piece of equipment, which isn't too bad, but
Well, I mean, there's cheap ones you can get for $50.
Oh yeah.
And you can still do some damage with that if you don't know what you're doing.
But that's the thing about these new rules and regulations, that it doesn't matter if it's $50 or $100.
Yes.
You're going to need to show the government that you know a little something about flying these things for you to be able to even fly it.
Now, who's going to police this, though?
That's the other problem. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have the cops show up because, you have one up in your backyard.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if you have it pointed at your neighbor.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, but again, I work with a lot of drone companies around the area. We actually fly in the Cleveland National Air Show up at Burke every year.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
A guy named Matt Mishak and Mike Hanna, their company is DroneWorks, WERX, droneworks.com. They started with the air show. I want to say this will be the 6th year. Last year I think it was the 5th year that they were putting on drone demonstrations up there. And I've been going up there for the last 2 years now. This will be the 3rd year. And we spend a whole weekend up there. Mm-hmm. And we try to promote the drone industry. We try to put the word out, about doing things in a safe manner.
Right.
And then once a day we go out onto the runway and we fly around and give a drone demonstration. And so that's a lot of fun. And again, it's downtown Cleveland, it's Burke, and it's always a good time up there.
Yeah, hopefully you'll have good weather this year.
Yeah, the first year was kind of iffy, but last year wasn't too bad. And it's just a great time.
So what type of weather would hinder a drone flyover?
Well, like today, it's gray, gloomy, and rain. In a very, very light, misty rain, you can get away with it, but again, you don't really want to. I mean, this is all electronic gear. Mm-hmm. And if you get any rain on your lens, what kind of pictures are you going to get or video you're going to get. So rain's not a good friend.
Wind is not your friend either?
Well, actually, these birds are sturdy. And I only suggest the brand of DJI. Mm-hmm. It's a Chinese company, and DJI, this is a DJI Phantom 4 professional model. DJI makes rock solid birds, and they're entry level. Well, actually, they have a little thing called a Tello that's only like $100, but the next jump up is a $400 drone, which is rock solid. It's not real fancy like this one. So they have a $400 drone, and I think they got one at like $799, one at $1,000, one at $1,200, $1,500. And hopefully they're coming out with the new Phantom 5 very soon this year. We've been waiting for that.
What additional things are they going to have in that?
We don't know. We don't even know if they're coming out with it. They keep everything squeaky quiet, but this is a rock solid bird. I mean, this thing will fly for 20 to 25 minutes on a single battery. Now I carry 7 batteries.
Wow.
So
I'm sure they're not cheap.
No. And again, just the bird itself and the controller is $1,500, and then each battery, I want to say, is $159, so $160 per battery times 7.
And I know it comes with an app, and you use the app on a phone or a tablet.
Yeah, you can fly it off the controller, on, like you said, on a phone or a tablet. There are different apps, but I fly with the DJI app itself. And it's all high technology. I mean, on the app, we get full telemetry of everything that the drone knows and sees and should know. It knows when it's running out of battery. It'll let you know. It'll override you. It'll say, hey, I'm going home. And it has the return to home function. A lot of these $100 drones, there's no return to home function. It's like, if it's out of battery, it's going to drop out.
It's going to drop wherever it is.
So, again, you just need to research it and educate yourself as to what your equipment can do and can't do, and don't push the envelopes, and just try to fly safe. And always try to fly respectfully too. Like the Cleveland Metro Parks, they're a no drone park system.
Right.
There's no drones allowed anywhere in Cleveland Metro Parks except for 5 locations that they've designated. One is the polo fields up in North Chagrin, and I'm not sure where the other ones are at. But even before they enacted that, if I ever went to a park, you know, if people are having a picnic or a wedding or, you know, graduation pictures, you know, I'm not going to be buzzing them out. You know,
Right.
You got to be respectful. So just keep that in mind. And again, safety is the #1 aspect.
Now, we talked about, you know, the tablet or the phone, and we talked about wind and different factors. What about the sun? Does that impede you looking at the viewfinder? And how do you handle that?
Well, again, the camera is high technology.
But you're having to view it on your tablet.
Well, we have all the settings, so we change the aperture, the shutter speed, and whatnot. You can put filters on these camera lenses.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're facing away from the sun, your shutter speed and your aperture is going to be different, as opposed to if you turn 180 degrees and you're shooting a sunset and you're shooting right at the sun. Then you have to change things back. And then, of course, we do post-production work. You know, after we take the photographs, we take them home and then we work them out.
But I thought even like for your tablet, like if I'm out in the sun, sometimes it's hard for me to see my you know, what I'm doing on my phone with the sun.
Oh, what you say about that?
Yes.
I actually fly, and I didn't bring it in here. It's out in the drone mobile. I have a hood.
Ah, right.
So I have my controller here. The tablet sits above the controller, and then attached to the tablet is a hood that stands like this tall. So as I'm holding it, it comes right up, and I just put my eyes into the hood.
Right.
It's totally shielded.
Yes, I can
it's
see
like
what
a
you
cave
mean.
in there.
Right.
And, I mean, I love it to death. I can barely ever fly without it. Sometimes I do just for certain reasons, but.
Well, that's cool.
And they make them for phones.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hoodman is the company, and for my tablet, for an 8-inch tablet, I think the hood only costs $80.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, worth every penny.
Yeah, you need it
Worth
for sure.
every penny. And it's got a little slot in the bottom, so when you have to go touch the screen, you just slide your fingers in through the little slot and touch the screen. So,
nice.
It's a great piece of equipment. And speaking of which, is the drone mobile.
Yes, I was working to that. Working my way to that.
Yeah, as I was telling you, the company VMS down here in Twinsburg, a little over a year ago, I bought a 2010 Ford Transit Connect, all white. I knew what it was going to look like when I bought it, and you can see the logo here on my shirt. And so I got a hold of VMS, and we laid something out, and we created the drone mobile. So I took this white box utility van and put vinyl graphics all over it, and we get some heads turned. I have the Cleveland skyline on the hood, you know, and Squires Castle on the back windows, and then the phone number and the logos and the .com name. So.
Yeah, on Squires Castle, when you did that that shoot, didn't you go like up through the castle itself?
I did. I actually had 2 drones flying that morning. I was flying one inside, and a friend of mine was flying the one outside. So we were filming the castle from the outside, and I was flying, and I went straight up through the roof.
Wow, I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah, that's on the YouTube video.
Tricky.
And then the way I edited the video, you know, it was kind of cool because you see the view from the drone going up and the bricks and the windows going by as the drone was going up, and then I switched the edit, you know, with the drone itself coming up on the roof. So now that was a lot of fun. I try to get creative, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that in your videos. I always looking when I see that you're on Facebook. I'm always like, oh, where in the world is Jeff?
Well, he's got Carmen San Diego with his drone.
Exactly. Have you ever crashed?
Shh. We don't crash. We try not to crash.
Well, I'm sure it happens.
I have had, I do believe, only 2 incidences. The one was rough weather, and I'm trying to think what the other one was. I don't remember.
do you keep track of like all your flights?
We do log it electronically. That is part of the rules and regulations, is that you have to keep a flight log.
Right.
You have to keep
So how many flights have you had?
A lot.
So I mean, to have only 2 problems out of a lot.
Oh yeah, no, I've been flying
really
for
good.
3 years, and
Yes.
you know me, I'm out there almost every day that it's not raining.
Right.
And I'm flying somewhere.
So I guess that's
I mean, I couldn't
pretty good track record.
I couldn't even tell you how many hours and flights, you know, and like I say, we carry 7 batteries, so you know, if I go out to a location, I can fly 7 different times, but also the drone mobile is equipped with a charging system. It has 110 power to cook the coffee and charge the batteries.
2 important things.
Yeah, so we can keep recharged, so we fly all day long.
So you have a lot of electronics and a lot of batteries. Have you ever gotten into paranormal situations?
No, that would be my sister you'd have to talk to.
Because paranormal activity.
She has a crystal ball, so.
I mean, sometimes it has been known that if you have experienced that, you would know it because your batteries would drain. So.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, you probably haven't flown over any sites that are known for paranormal activity.
Squire's Castle is supposedly haunted, although I'm not one to believe that. But no, I can't say that I have. But again, the company that I run, we're open to anything.
Sure.
You know, I've flown inside factories. A factory down in Medina, they just did a $10 million retrofit of their laser cutting machines, and they have robotics and all this stuff. You know, when we were flying in there and doing a video for them, we flew in a place in Solon, a marble and granite place that has these just stacks and stacks and stacks of beautiful marble and granite. You know, but you know, like I said, we'll cover events, we'll cover anything.
How do people get in touch with you?
DroneOhio.com. You can shoot me a message there, Jeff@DroneOhio.com, or you can email me at DroneOhio@Yahoo.com as well. There's plenty of ways.
I'm sure on your website it'll have all the ways to get in touch with you.
Well, everybody, or most everybody's on Facebook. So
yes.
Just go onto Facebook and Drone Ohio, search out Drone Ohio on Facebook and like our page. We're closing in on 3,000 likes actually on that page.
Nice.
And so when we do live streams, that's where it's hitting first. It's hitting the Drone Ohio Facebook page. And then as we're at a site and doing live streams and taking pictures and shooting video, then we'll go home and we'll create the video. The photography we do is called HDR photography as well. It's bracketed. So every picture is actually 5 pictures in one.
Mm-hmm.
You get 2 underexposed, 2 overexposed, and 1 picture right in the middle. And then you take it home and the computer blends those 5 pictures into a single picture. And that's what gives you that almost
depth.
Yeah, that depth, that almost 3-dimensional look.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Your shots are beautiful.
Thank you. And I'll tell you what, 3 years ago, I didn't know anything about this.
Well, I mean, we're not born knowing this stuff, right?
No,
I mean, this is new.
I was a photographer, but I was mostly a point-and-shoot photographer. I didn't really, learn about and understand apertures and shutter speeds and all that good stuff. I just, held my camera up, and if it looked good, I took a picture.
Right.
I was always good about framing out a picture. But all this technical stuff, especially with the video. When I first got my first drone, and actually I didn't take a lot of pictures in the first year. I took all video.
Right.
I just got hooked into video. And when I got my first drone, I had no clue how to take 1 clip here and 1 clip here and glue them together. I had no clue.
Right.
So I went on YouTube and how do you do this, And
right.
I just learned all this on my own. And now we do full-scale video type productions.
Yeah, you don't do any training though, right?
No, we're willing to work with people.
Because there might be people out there that got one for their birthday or Christmas and have no idea what to do.
No, not a problem. Get a hold of me and we'll go up to the local soccer field, or I know Macedonia doesn't like you up there in their little park up there, but we'll find a place to fly and help you out.
And usually get permission, right?
Well,
in some places you can get.
Yeah, that's the thing about the park systems too. Like I mentioned, Cleveland Metro Parks. There are no fly zones. But if you go to a park system and say, "Hey, I'm a commercial pilot. I would like to do this specifically. I know it's supposedly against your rules. Can we tweak the rules? And would it be okay?" And more times than not, I'll tell you a funny story. Payne Falls. Have you ever been out to Payne Falls?
No.
Beautiful place. And last fall I got some stunning pictures with the fall foliage and everything.
Right.
And it's a real pretty waterfall. And that's another one of my niches is waterfalls
Right.
and sunrises and sunsets. And so it's kind of funny. Went out there and pulled, I mean, it's just got a small little parking lot, it's got its signs, you know, and it didn't say anything about no drones or anything.
Right.
And this is, as a matter of fact, I'll talk about this after the story. But so I took all the pictures, posted them on Facebook. Everybody's like, "Oh my God!" And I got a big following up in Painesville. The people up in Painesville are really great, Fairport Harbor and everything. So they were really soaking it up. They're like, "Oh my God, that's beautiful." And so the next day I'm at work and my phone rings, and here it's the park manager or something
right.
of Lake County Parks, and they're like, "Oh, this is so and so, and you're Lake County Parks, so you know we're no drone park." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I actually went on, before I took that shot, I went on their website, and in their search button, I typed in drone,
Right.
came back with nothing.
And on site, you said there was no signs.
And on site, there was no signs. But come to find out that the way they have it worded on their website, for some reason, it doesn't mention drones or something. I don't know.
You're just supposed to know.
But he was super nice about it. He called me up. He says, "Man, those pictures were just beautiful." And,
Now, so that means you can't shoot like Brandywine Falls, for example.
Brandywine is a national park, and as of now, you're not allowed to fly in national parks.
Okay.
That's been a rule, hard, fast rule for a lot of times. Because like Yosemite, they don't want people parking their
Sure.
drone in the bottom of
Yeah.
Old Faithful or whatnot. But the gentleman out at Lake County Parks, he was nothing but nice. He called me up and says, great pictures, but, you know, we're no drone. He says, and I got to talking to him about the rules and regulations. And the truth about it is that any park can dictate what you can and can't do if you're standing in their park. But what they can't do, they can't regulate the airspace above their park.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's 2 inches off the ground,
Ah.
they don't have the ability to regulate that airspace.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm standing outside of a park and that park is a no-fly zone, I'm allowed to fly into that park. And they can't tell me not to fly. It's
Right.
just the technicality of it. Now, of course, we're not going to go out pushing everybody's buttons
Right,
and all
right,
this
right.
stuff. You know, we'd rather knock on their door and say, "Hey, you know, we'd like to, you know, take a picture of your beautiful waterfall." So, long story short, the guy out in Lake County, that's what he told me. He says, "Hey, your pictures are great. I understand you're a commercial pilot. You know, we can appreciate that. We do have a no drone policy, but if you would like to do something in our parks, get a hold of me. Let me know."
Right.
You know, they have that great little farm park up there. You know,
Mhm.
that would make some great photography as well. So if I wanted to do that, I'd just have to call them up, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
they would work with us. So we appreciate that. And again, you shouldn't really worry too much about us commercial people. It's the hobbyists.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
They may have
I
signs there now. I mean, maybe you prompted them to.
They may.
I think it might impede other people, just
But
hobbyists.
that's one hard part about our business is that I have to do so much research just to find out what little pieces of air, when in reality I'm able to, what dictates where I can fly is the FAA and the FAA only. And those aeronautical charts that we read are supposed to learn how to read,
Right.
tell you where you can fly. You know, if I gotta go talk to every Tom, Dick, and Harry about, hey,
Right.
can I fly here or can I fly there? Or, you know, some cities are like city-wide. You know, you
Right.
can't fly over our city. Well, guess what? I can.
Right.
So
Do you like it's Macedonia no-fly zone or with permission?
their park up there, Longwood Park, from what I've, actually they have a sign up there. Says no radio-controlled devices or something like that. And actually, one of the people from, I don't know, the council or something, did contact me, and I gave them all my information. I said, yeah, let's have a sit down and talk about this, and I'll explain, you know, what the true legalities of it is,
Right.
and try to help you guys out, you know, because again, I'm all about information. Like I said, we go up to the Cleveland Air Show every year, and we do all that we can to promote. I mean, that's why I'm here,
Right.
doing a podcast.
Sure.
And my buddy Cliff Franks down in Canal Fulton, he owns Buckeye Drone. And he's like one of the smartest guys I've known. He is a great businessman. He's been flying since day one. I mean, he's been flying for like 7 years.
Wow.
Since the
Early
drones
adapter.
came out. Matt and Mike up there at DroneWorks, that they were early in it too. They build their own drones.
Wow.
And Cliff Frank's a Buckeye Drone. He's a good guy to know. And all of us, we do the best we can to help people. Like Matt and Mike, they go to different schools and colleges and whatnot and teach about drones. And we're just trying to better our situation for everybody.
Well, that's great. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about today?
Oh, I don't know. Is there?
We'll find out later when we're driving home.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do another video.
I warned you the other day. I says, you get me rolling. I'll keep talking for a long time.
Well, I mean, you just have so many stories, you can always come back.
Yeah, the stories are great. I mean, like I said, the trip that I had down in Texas was a great trip, and I chased sunrises and sunsets, so as I was driving, I'm timing my arrival into Houston or Dallas, for sunrise and sunset,
right,
and going out there and chasing these things. And we got some amazing pictures, and there's plenty of stories.
So, any plans on future flights?
Sure, let's go today.
Well, I think the rain is kind of impeding that.
Like I say, if the weather is doable, and if I don't, have a car that I gotta fix or something, I'm out there flying as much as I can.
I was just wondering if you had any trips planned,
Well, I do have a top secret one though coming out this Saturday, so I don't want to divulge that.
Well, we'll just have to wait and
that's
check
tomorrow,
it out.
Isn't it? Yeah,
tomorrow is, yes. This week went by fast.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I can say it because I'm not going to have this video out tonight.
Yeah, this is the date of this recording is the 29th of March, 2019.
Tomorrow I'm going to be somewhere special.
Well, we will look for that.
But it's actually a surprise attack, so that's why I didn't want to say anything. But that's what I enjoy about this, is going to all these different cities. I've done work in Solon, Chagrin Falls, Painesville, Fairport Harbor, Cleveland, of course, Cleveland Heights. I worked for the city of Cleveland Heights. And for me, it's just intriguing. I'll sit at home and I'll bring up Google Maps and I'll just look on the maps like, where do I want to go?
Yes,
now?
yes.
We've been out to Warren in Youngstown and if you guys want to get a hold of me, you got a cool place that you think that.
Yeah. Where should Jeff go next?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to fly Brandywine Falls, but I have to respect the fact that it's now in actuality. Again, you can be off the property and fly into the park. This is what I just heard, and again, I don't want to push anybody's buttons, but I heard that you can fly into a park if you're not physically on the park property. But again, I understand the reasons for these rules and regulations, so we try not to push it.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees there. I don't know how the view would be.
Yeah, that's the other thing, especially when you shoot waterfalls, because I did a lot of that in my first year. I have a lot of videos of waterfalls. And when you get down into a valley, you get the gusty winds going through there and everything, and this is this is high tech, so it knows the wind and it fights against the wind. That's what keeps it stable in the 3-axis gimbal, so you get smooth footage and whatnot. But you got to watch yourself. But some of the things we're looking forward to is flying in the air show again this year, and just doing anything and everything that we can. So give us a call, DroneOhio.com.
Well, we could drone on and on and on, but I think we...
You've been waiting to use that line.
I think we must take flight here, and, we can have you back another day.
The NordoniaHills Comedy Hour.
With me, it's always like that.
There you go.
I'm a punster, it's what I do. People roll their eyes at me, but, that's the kind of reaction I want,
There you go. I appreciate you asking me out here.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Jeff.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and we'll do it again, and can't wait to see
We
your
gotta say hi to Gary, too.
Oh, hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, I've went with Gary on some of his flights and stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot of fun. It's a lot harder than people think.
Actually, I think it's quite easy myself.
Well, I mean, for new people, it's we can talk about that next time.
Yeah, there you go.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.